Assalamu alaikum students. Today I will tell you how to present the counseling station during exam. Let's start counseling of CMV infection in pregnancy. Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. XYZ. I understand that one of your blood tests has shown possible CMV infection. I will ask a few focused questions. Explain that CMV means, what it can mean for your baby, what further tests are needed, and how we'll monitor the pregnancy. Please stop me anytime if you have any question. CMV is a common virus. Most maternal infections are mild or silent, but if infection occurs in pregnancy, it can sometimes pass through the fetus. It is one of the common congenital infections and an important cause of childhood sensory neural hearing loss. Focused history, presenting illness. Ask about fever, malaise, fatigue, sore throat, myalgia, headache, rhinitis, rash, lymph node swelling, and duration of symptoms. Then exposure history. Ask about contact with young children, nursery, daycare work, changing nappies, contact with saliva or urine, sharing cups, spoon, kissing children on lips, sexual contact, blood transfusion, organ transplant, and immunosuppression. Current pregnancy as gestational age, LMP, dating scan, booking test, anomaly scan, fetal movement, bleeding, pain, leaking, fever, drugs, folic acid, previous torch or viral screening. Past obstetric history. Ask previous miscarriage, stillbirth, congenital anomaly, fetal growth restriction, neonatal death, hearing loss, developmental delay, or cerebral palsy in previous child. Past medical and social history. Ask diabetes, renal disease, HIV, transplant, steroid, immunosuppressive use, drugs, allergy, smoking, recreational drug, occupation, support at home, and patient's main concerns. Examination. I will examine you mainly to assess your general health and pregnancy. Check temperature, pulse, BP, pallor, hydration, throat, rash, lymph node, chest if symptomatic, abdomen for uterine size, fetal heart if gestation allows, and obstetrical examination according to gestation. Then pelvic examination is not routinely needed unless there is bleeding, leaking, pain, or another obstetric indication. Differential diagnosis includes a flu-like illness in pregnancy may be due to CMV, parvovirus B19, toxoplasmosis, rubella, Epstein-Barr virus, influenza, COVID-19, hepatitis, HIV seroconversion, malaria, typhoid depending on exposure and locality. Investigations. Maternal confirmation. IgM positive alone does not prove recent CMV infection. CMV IgM may persist for months, appear in reactivation, or be falsely positive. ACOG notes that IgM alone should not be used for diagnosis. ACOG order CMV IgG, IgM, CMV IgG avidity. Repeat serology in 2 to 3 weeks if needed. CBC and LFTs if symptomatic, other infection tests if clinically indicated. Interpretation. IgG negative, IgM negative, no evidence of infection. That is, the patient is susceptible to infection. IgG positive, IgM negative, past infection, low fetal risk but reinfection, reactivation is still possible. IgM positive with IgG negative, possibly very early infection or false positive, repeat in 1 to 2 weeks. IgG positive and IgM positive, do IgG avidity. Low avidity suggests recent primary infection. High avidity suggests past infection and makes recent primary infection unlikely. Fetal investigations. Detailed ultrasound. Refer to fetal medicine for targeted scan. Look for fetal growth restriction, ventriculomegaly, microcephaly, intracranial calcifications, echogenic bowel, hepatosplenomegaly, ascites, hydrops, placentomegaly, pleural effusion, and abnormal liquor. Serial ultrasound is usually done every 2 to 4 weeks when fetal infection is suspected or confirmed. Amniocentesis. For diagnosis of fetal infection, the best prenatal test is CMV PCR on amniotic fluid. Offer amniocentesis after 21 weeks and at least 6 to 8 weeks after presumed maternal infection, because early testing can be falsely negative before the fetus sheds virus into amniotic fluid. Fetal MRI. Consider fetal brain MRI around 28 to 32 weeks if fetal infection is confirmed or ultrasound suggests CNS abnormality. Maternal effects. Most women are asymptomatic or have mild illness, fever, tiredness, sore throat, myalgia, headache, rhinitis, and malaise. Severe maternal disease is uncommon unless immunocompromised. Fetal and neonatal effects. Even if you have CMV, it does not automatically mean the baby is affected. Possible effects include miscarriage, rarely, fetal growth restriction, microcephaly, ventriculomegaly, intracranial calcification, hepatosplenomegaly, jaundice, thrombocytopenia, chorioretinitis, pneumonitis, seizures, cerebral palsy, developmental delay, and hearing loss. Most infected babies are asymptomatic at birth, but some may later develop hearing loss or neurodevelopmental problems. Treatment and antenatal management. Management is specialist-led, refer to fetal medicine, confirm maternal infection, assess fetal infection, serial ultrasound surveillance, MRI if indicated, MDT counseling with neonatologist or infectious disease specialist. Routine antenatal antiviral treatment is not universally recommended. SMFM does not recommend routine antenatal Jansaclovir, Valsaclovir or CMV hyperimmune globulin outside research or specialist protocol. Some centers may consider high-dose valacyclovir in selected early primary infection, but only after fetal medicine infectious disease counseling because practice varies. Prognosis. Good prognosis, maternal infection not confirmed or fetal PCR negative. Normal serial ultrasound, normal growth. Intermediate prognosis. Fetal PCR positive but ultrasound and MRI normal. Baby may still need hearing and developmental follow-up. Poor prognosis. Fetal PCR positive with severe findings such as microcephaly, severe ventriculomegaly, intracranial calcifications, hydrops, severe fetal growth restriction, or brain abnormalities. Early gestational infection is more dangerous for fetal damage. Later infection has higher transmission but usually less severe damage. Delivery plan. CMV alone is not an indication for cesarean section. Mode and timing of delivery are based on obstetric indication. Avoid unnecessary prematurity. Inform neonatologist before delivery. Neonatal management. After birth, baby should be examined by neonatologist. Confirm congenital CMV by saliva or urine PCR within first 21 days of life. After that, it becomes difficult to distinguish congenital from postnatal infection. Baby may need CBC, LFTs, hearing test, eye examination, cranial ultrasound, MRI if indicated, developmental follow-up, audiology follow-up even if normal initially. Symptomatic babies may need valacyclovir under neonatal infectious disease care. Follow-up. Antenatal. Fetal medicine follow-up, serial ultrasound, MRI if needed, counseling and MDT plan. Postnatal. Neonatal PCR, hearing assessment, ophthalmology, neurodevelopmental monitoring and long-term audiology follow-up. Prevention advice. Wash hands after changing nappies. Avoid sharing cups, spoons, toothbrushes and food with young children. Avoid kissing children on lips. Clean toys and surface exposed to saliva or urine. Use condoms if partner exposure is suspected. Today we cannot say from IgM alone whether this is a recent infection or whether the baby is affected. The next correct step is to confirm your CMV status with IgG and avidity testing, arrange fetal medicine review, plan targeted ultrasound and discuss amniocentesis at correct time if recent infection is confirmed. We will involve neonatologist and support you throughout. Note: IgM alone is unreliable. IgG avidity helps date infection. Amniocentesis after 21 weeks and 6 to 8 weeks after infection. Normal ultrasound does not completely exclude fetal CMV. CMV is not an indication for cesarean section. Neonatal PCR must be within 21 days. Main long-term risk: sensorineural hearing loss.